Hey everybody, it's 1980 Millennial Commentates, and I am coming to you this weekend from my hotel room as we are traveling. And although I usually like to do quick, snarky, kind of fun little tidbit videos, I thought I'd do something a little different today and just have a chat. Sometimes people wonder why I'm into pop culture. It doesn't really go along with my other interests in life, my hobbies, my volunteering, and my actual 9-to-5 job, but myself and a lot of other people I know, we find pop culture a wonderful escape for when our mind is too busy and too heavy. There are things that can really be in your mind that you need a distraction from, and sometimes what these celebrities and rich people are getting up to is a wonderful distraction. So hey, if you're someone here who's watching this pop culture commentary because it distracts you from your trauma and your mental anguish, I see you. I hear you. Thank you. I understand. In that same vein, I'm not a big watcher of true crime. I really only get interested in a true crime case if it involves someone I know or community that I know intimately. And I really need it to not be too disturbing. That's one of the reasons why one of the cases that I do follow is Gypsy Rose Blanchard, is because Dee Dee's not an innocent victim. I know a lot of people are really going out of their way these days to redeem Dee Dee and talk about what a wonderful mother she was. Dee Dee taught Gypsy to steal. She took her stealing all around, and I'm not talking about just the cons, just being in the wheelchair and pretending. I'm talking actual, literal thieving from places like Walmart and Hobby Lobby, and no telling how more around that community. And one of the reasons why I care is because I have a lot of friends and family that live in the Springfield-Branson area. I've spent so much time there. So I know the people in the community that were actively thieved from for a period of about 8 or 9 years from Dee Dee and Gypsy. And another thing that a lot of people don't always understand is a lot of people in Missouri found them very suspicious. I've witnessed, and I have been a person who has, back in 2007, 2008, saw pictures and videos of Gypsy at people's homes in Southwest Missouri who were already friends with Gypsy and Dee Dee, and immediately told me, oh, this horrible, horrible story of the absent father who doesn't want anything to do with his unhealthy child, and she's not going to live long, and her mother is completely devoted to her and all this stuff. And they would donate money, things, food, time, and yeah, it really bothers me, especially when it's very clear that Gypsy is still doing those exact same principles that Dee Dee taught her, making people feel sorry for her to give her money. That is exactly what Dee Dee taught her. I believe that it was an abusive way to be raised, and I don't care that much whether or not the Munchausen's by proxy was real. I'm not really worried about that. What I care most about is the communities that never got any real closure, justification, restitution, or for the fact that Dee Dee and Gypsy were actively defrauding them and stealing from them, because it became a worse deal when Gypsy decided to coerce Nick into murdering Dee Dee for her. And then all of a sudden it was all about the murder, and the fraud that they enacted to get there has been all but forgotten, other than it's been kind of revived on YouTube. But in reviving it, some people are just getting really wildly out there with their theories. It's getting a little disturbing. And they didn't just steal money from that community. When the murder happened, they stole happiness. They stole peace of mind. They stole time. They stole people's sense of well-being, because they were absolutely terrified of what was happening to Gypsy, because they thought when they saw that post and people went in the house and Dee Dee's there, stabbed to death, head almost off, all her medicine and her wheelchair's in there, and then the comment comes about what they did to her sweet daughter. People were not okay. I look back at the the news reports from that time, people having candlelight vigils outside her house and stuff, and I see a lot of familiar faces in there, and I get so mad because those people were not okay, and they were not okay for a long time after they realized what was going on and that they had contributed to it. They were not okay. And the content creator I told you all about the other day, the Good Wives Network, Fancy Maselli, is out there now posting videos of the actual prosecuting attorney, screenshot of one of his Facebook posts, and talking about how, oh my gosh, he knows the judge commented on his Facebook post, and blah, 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 blah. Y'all, Chillicothe has less than 10,000 people in the population. It's not a huge place. And people who are in the same line of work there are going to know each other. That may seem weird, but as long as they keep their hands clean and can prove that nothing untoward happens, that's not unusual in a small town. Fancy's acting like this is crazy and possibly illegal, but it's very normal. Like a lot of the things that she freaks out about. Very normal.
Guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and I have an update. Something I don't understand how it's even happening, but it is, folks, and it's very strange. Let me get you a picture real quick. So, do you see this man right here, Adam Warren? Nice little mug with his little wife, right? Guess who also Adam Warren is? It's a prosecuting attorney on the false report case that Sarah and I are facing in Missouri. Do you know how else he is? He's also Blue Shirt Guy. This is the man that assaulted Sarah. And he is the prosecuting attorney accusing us of filing false reports to the judge, who is his very dear good friend, Dick Leamer, who commented on this Facebook post up here of his about his son doing something with some sports thing and how he was so proud of of this man's son. Tell me this ain't corrupt without telling me this ain't corrupt. So with that being said, how in the F is this legal? That man assaulted Sarah.
And I had to laugh at Flawless Nina calling her out on the filters because, oh my God, like if anyone deserves to call someone out for, their makeup and filters, it's Flawless Nina, because she clearly made makeup her expertise and she is damn good at it. Girl, you looking good out there.
This lady embellishes things, and I know she ain't right all the way upstairs. And this is looking a little crazy. And trust me, and also, you never could trust somebody that always comes up with a filter of makeup and they're not wearing makeup. Like, you can't trust that.
And if you watch Flawless Nina's content for a while, like I have, you know that she did not start out trying to call out Fancy for her looks or anything like that. She started out being very kind, and she's fed up. She's fed up. But in other news, I'm wondering, did anyone watch Trooping of the Color? I enjoyed it. I've been many 80s kids, I've been a royal nerd because of Princess Diana back in the day. Huge fan, I still am. Now, I'm very aware that Diana was not perfect, not even slightly. She struggled a lot with things that caused her mental health to really be off the charts, and she might have had some personality or character flaws. That happens, people have them, and doesn't take away the good stuff that they do, so long as, it's kept to a certain level. Anyway, you can't go around murdering, defrauding, and thieving, but Diana didn't do anything like that. She had a hard time with her marriage. She screamed at Charles a lot, and frankly, Charles is running around cheating with Camilla, so I don't know. I know Camilla has really redeemed herself by doing decades of good work for the royal family, in the sense of keeping her toes clean, keeping her stuff in line, not putting a foot wrong, showing up at all the things, doing the right stuff. And Camilla's, she's really redeemed herself. And one thing that a lot of us Diana fans really appreciated was that when Charles and Camilla did finally get married, she did not take the Princess of Wales title out of respect for Diana. That would have been too much. Frankly, calling her queen is rough sometimes, even though I appreciate, what Camilla's become. It still feels wrong. But hey, that's the nature of monarchy. Like, heirs marry people, and they aren't always the people that the populace and fans would like to see enter the royal family. I mean, Lord alive, look at Fergie. Poor Fergie. Although, Fergie and Andrew, it's like a toss-up. You know, people forget sometimes, I think, that Fergie had dealings with Epstein too. Whenever she got caught trying to sell access to Andrew, Epstein loaned her the money to bail her out. Y'all, Fergie is... I don't understand the Fergie love lately. She's a little shady. Something that did surprise me at the Trooping of the Color, I was kind of shocked, was whenever they come out on the balcony, Princess Anne was all the way off to the right. Like, you could barely see her. In the shot that I saw anyway, maybe there were better shots than what ABC News got, but yeah, I thought it was kind of strange that Sophie was right next to Camilla. Sophie is Edward's wife, Prince Edward. Edward is Charles, Anne, and Andrew's younger brother. Not a lot of people seem to know a lot about Edward, but he's got a kind of a funny past. Now this is not funny. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Edward was pressured to go into the military by his parents. Queen Elizabeth, as if you're a fan, you may know, Queen Elizabeth was in the military. She volunteered for service, and during the World War, she was a mechanic, and she actually enjoyed mechanicking so much that for years on up, I remember just a few years before she died, seeing photos of her, paparazzi photos snapped whenever her Range Rover that she was driving around with broke down, and she insisted on working on it herself. She didn't like for other people to do mechanic work on her vehicle. She liked to do it herself, and I just find that so cool. But because Elizabeth had that wonderful military background and a huge respect for the military, she wanted all of her kids, grandkids, etc., to do service. Now, I say all of her grandkids. I could be incorrect there. I don't know that she would have pressured, like, for interest. Can't talk. I can't think of the word now. Starts with an I. Anyway, for example, Beatrice and Eugenie, I don't know that she would have pressured Sarah and Andrew's children to go in there. But as far as William and Harry, the Queen was quoted as saying, "They have taken my shekels and they must do their duty." She did want them in the military. She wanted the same with her kids. So Edward joined the military, but it wasn't suited for it. And there's no shame in that. I have a deep, deep respect for the military. I'm married to a veteran, but I also respect the fact that not everyone is cut out to be a soldier, and that is okay. That is okay. You're cut out to do a different thing, do that different thing. And that's what Steady Eddie at the Ready did. He did that different thing, and that different thing was theater. Isn't that amazing? I love it. Theater. He's an artist. And so something he did at a point was he did scheduled and produced, I don't know what you want to call it, back in the 80s, a game show, like kind of a reality show type thing called It's a Royal Knockout. And oh my God, was it a knockout. Diana wanted to participate in it, but Charles absolutely forbade it. No senior royals were in it, although Anne, Andrew, and Fergie were, and Edward, of course. And it was totally panned by all the critics. And Edward did this thing where he rounded up press for it, put them in like this container area where they couldn't see anything. They were hot, they were hungry, and then come out all haughty, and I was like, "What did you think of it?" And then got mad and stomped off because they laughed. They laughed at his face. And you know who that behavior reminds me of? Prince Harry. People love to compare him to Edward the Abdicator and Meghan Markle to Wallis Simpson. I've done it myself. Prince Philip loved to call Meghan Markle the Duchess of Windsor. No, she's the Duchess of Sussex, but the Duchess of Windsor was Wallis Simpson, who the whole royal family blamed for Edward abdicating the throne. And there are similarities. Wallis was an American socialite divorcee. So was Meghan Markle, But yeah, behind her back, Prince Philip, before he died, liked to call her the Duchess of Windsor. But yeah, the Edward that Harry reminds me most of is the Edward that is still alive and around and not well known. And just watch this clip of how he treats the press. You might see why. You may not agree with me. You may think I'm being crazy here, but hey, it's my opinion. What's yours? Let me know in the comments.
That, you can see the writing on the wall, it's going to be a disaster, and it truly was.
His Royal Highness, the tantalisingly eligible Prince Edward, coaxing courage.
the royal family, but not all of them. You could feel that disapproval coming through the whole thing.
And he went into the press tent and he sat down and he went, well, what do you think?
There's been a tremendous team that have helped to put this together. And I've lost my voice.
Are you pleased with the way things have gone, sir?
Can I finish?
He thought that they should be so grateful that His Royal Highness was turning up to entertain the masses.
And I know the captains have enjoyed themselves. I only hope that you've enjoyed yourselves. Have you? Well, thanks for sounding so bloody enthusiastic. What have you been doing in here all day? Have you been watching it? Yeah. What did you think of it? Thanks.
I thought it was great.
He's walked out.
Now, speaking of Prince Harry, I've been hearing some rumors and rumblings out here on these YouTube streets that Spare 2 might be coming. Spare us the Todger Tales. I don't know that the world can take more of that. Please, Harry. Please, just work on being happy with Meghan Markle and Montecito, and no, don't foist more Todger Tales upon the world. We don't need Todger Tales 2. Harry. So that's all of my hotel chat thoughts, y'all. If you made it here to the end with me, I really appreciate it, and I thank you for hanging out with me. If you're not a commenter, but you want to leave a little acknowledgement, put a crown in the chat. That will tell me that you made it here and you want to be spared from Todger Tales 2. Have a good day, y'all. 1980 Millennial Commentates.